Davenparty, it's Allie Brown here for the second part of my video. I wanted to do some mixed media pages in my beautiful Jane Davenport art journal. So for these pages, I wanted to try a monochromatic palette using greens, aqua, a little bit of blue because it's March. We think of green for St. Patty's Day. So I'm using the colors Jiminy and Mermaid and just kind of blending the two across the page. And I apologize for the brightness. I'm still learning the light in my new space. I'm just taking some of the swatches from the collage papers and putting them on the background. I'm just obsessed with these collage papers. They are instant happy on my page, and so it's really cool that you can just take your paintbrush or tear them carefully or not carefully and put them as a background to your pages. And so you can pick whatever color you want. I just loved it. So I've got some blues and greens here, and I'm just using the matte medium to adhere the collage paper onto my pages. A little layer underneath and a little thin layer on top. That's all you need. And because Jane doesn't have a green acrylic paint yet, I am sure she is working on it. I am just taking some gesso and the color Siren and putting it in the gesso and blending it with a metal knife, little palette knife, and then using the stamp that I created from the first video and stamping these seed pods all over the background of my journal pages. I'm just loving how this looks. It's so awesome. Look at those ridges. I then decided to add some Byron Bay Mermaid marker ink to the remainder of the paint. I wanted to just get a little bit more blue. I wanted to put some more of the pods on the page. And I even added some matte medium just to kind of thicken it up a little bit. So I'm just going to stamp some more pods on my page. I wanted to try my reverse stamp also, so I just plopped it into the paint and pressed firmly on my page to see how it worked. And I really think it turned out nice. I am one to always use every single bit of my product. So what I did was squirted the remainder of the paint on my mat, and this is a Ranger non-stick mat. I sprayed it with water and then I just plopped it on another page in my art journal because that will become a background for something in the future. Next, I took the color Siren and just put a little bit on the side of the page and used some water to just blend it around and smear it around. The really cool thing about mermaid markers is that if you put more water in them, it kind of like reacts with the ink and you get these really neat water effects. I put the color Byron Bay in my Incredible pen. There's mermaid marker ink in that pen because I love it for sketching. Because the ink is water soluble, you can do some really fun stuff with a water brush after you've sketched. So I'm just sketching out a face on my pages. I figured I wanted to go really big this time. And then I'll take a water brush and kind of create little shadows and darker areas with the ink where I see fit. It's a very fun process. This is why I love mixed media. You just kind of play. It's all play and fun and layers, layers, layers. I love layers. I'm really into messy, grungy splatters and stuff. So I took my Incredible pen and I just like flung it to the paper, which is actually a fountain pen no-no. You really aren't supposed to do that, but I needed the splatter, so I did. And sometimes we as artists break rules, so there you have it. Next, I took some of the beautiful magic wands in the colors Jiminy and Dragonfly, and I just kind of went over my sketch with some more colors. Again, I'm big into layers, so even if I redraw the same line over and over again, just the fact that they're a different texture or a different color makes me happy. So I just went over my existing lines and kind of made some squigglies here and there with the different magic wands. I then decided to use some more of the collage papers on the swatches because these grains were just calling me. I love them. So I took my paintbrush and then with some water outlined where I wanted to tear the paper. And in the beginning, I actually forgot to take the layer off the back. Whoops. It's much easier if you do that part because it's just 2-ply. You need it to be 1-ply. And so anyway, I used the matte medium again, did a thin layer on the bottom and then did a thin layer on top, and I layered the 2 swatches on top of each other. It's just beautiful how you can see underneath the collage papers. I cannot say enough how much I love layers. I took the acrylic paint and Bali blue, I think that's how you say it, and I actually painted right on the stamp. I don't know why I did that. I think from all the moving and packing and unpacking, it just made my brain mushy, and so the better way is to just spread some of the Bali blue on the mat and pick it up with the stamp. And then I pressed it onto the page, and I really like how it turned out. It's these little squiggles of paint that have the rigid, kind of the raised edges. So it looks like, I don't know how to explain it. It looks like someone squiggled, but that's a hard thing to do with just regular paint. You can't do that with a regular paintbrush, so I really enjoyed that. Then I added some seaweed mermaid ink to the Bali blue paint and decided to just scrape some paint onto the page. This is another technique that I enjoyed doing. Again, I like to get messy and just have fun with my pages. Because I felt like I couldn't see the face as well, I used a Stabilo All pencil, and this is a pencil that when you get it wet, I mean, it gets super dark and inky looking, and so I just kind of re-sketched, again, more layers on the face and used my water brush to activate that pencil, and you can see they get super dark. It just helps so you can see the face in there a little bit with all that green and blue going on. I really like the contrast of the colors. On the right side of the page, I just kind of pull it to the right and pull it over the acrylic paint and collage papers. I then used Jane's paint over pen and the color Mermaid to just make some more squiggly lines and paint over what I'd already done, and it gave some little spirally cheeks. And then I used the color Unicorn to even make more lines, and I believe that's the fine tip that I'm using. And I think that's it. That is it. That is my piece. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.